Hey guys, this is Blinking Sea here. Today I want to show you guys how to play the early game in Halo Wars 2. With a good tech, one game comes with a proper build order. With this build order, you will be able to survive the early game and make it to the Tech 2 game. I will also be showing you guys how to tech rush as well. Now, let's get started. Now, for the build order, what you want to begin with is you want to start off with a supply pad, generator, upgrade the generator, supply pad, and the fifth building may be your choosing. So I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate. So let's go ahead and start with the supply pad. Now, as this is building, let's go ahead and send our starting grunts to gather supplies and power. This is very important, so this will allow you to build more structures faster with the extra amount of supplies or units. Let's go ahead and build the scout unit. Now, with this build, you're allowed to build either a grunt or a chopper. I'd prefer going to chopper because it allows the mobility, and the chopper can kill 2 core units if microed properly. Let's go ahead and build a supply pad or a harvester in Banished case. This build order works with both UNSC and Banished, so that's a little fun note that I want to put out there. Go ahead and grab power. Also, another important thing to note, as all of this is going down, how to build our generator, the third structure. It's important to grab minis as soon as you can because minis allow you to have an extra supply pad or barracks or whatever you need in the early game. Also, it's just important to note also that if you have the chance to steal one of your minis from your opponent, do it because that's another that's an extra supply pad for you and one supply pad that you're denying for your enemy. So any little advantage that you can get, take it. Let's go ahead and send our other grunt there. Let's go ahead and grab more power. Let's go ahead and grab our power. If you guys see that, I upgraded my generator first. Now, the reason why I did this is that I don't like upgrading my harvesters first because you gotta have to upgrade your generator first because you need to have a steady income of power in. So let's go ahead and build our fourth structure, which is another supply pad. Let's go ahead and take our mini. Let's pull back our grunt, send in our chopper to go defend. I've seen a lot of people like fight back, but it's a good thing to grab the power even if you lose the unit, because that's just income that you're denying from your opponent. But sometimes units like you just saw there like to shoot backs just for for fun. Now that we almost got our build order done, this is a really cool thing you can do with this build. So now that we got all our structures down, all our ecos getting settled, you can see here that our supplies and power are a pretty good rate. With this build, you're allowed to go hero open. You can go into the supply pad if you'd like, just for mass core infantry. Go another power extractor, or you can go barracks or raid camp. With Banish, you can go Apex, which you can do some grunt engineer or chopper engineer. It's up to you. But I'm gonna go ahead and build a barracks. That's just my preferred thing to do. I'm gonna go ahead and start building on our minis. And let's go ahead and take this. Let's go ahead and scout our opponent. Now I'm scouting very late. I am scouting at almost the 4-minute mark. This is a super late scout, so at this time our opponent could have rushed us. We are fighting a normal AI, so nothing too difficult. But you always want to scout your opponent before the 2-minute mark because you need to know what your opponent's doing in time in order for you to have time to respond. Place down some hits. Destroy this chopper. Well, our chopper died, but we scouted their opponent, and we can see that he's tech rushing, or he's going for tech. How I can tell he's going for tech is because he has 2 generators upgraded, which is also a very bad thing to do, which I'll talk about later. And he has also supply pads, so there's no indication of like really a tier 1 battle. So mostly what he's gonna have is core infantry. So let's go back to our base. Go ahead and build our mini. Go ahead and start building up. See how much amount of supplies and power that we have? We can do all sorts of stuff with this build. This is why I really like this build. It allows so many... It allows flexibility. I really like that with any type of build that you do. It's just the amount of flexibility you're allowed to do. Now, this build does work in a lot of cases. It's not a guaranteed win. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, this is like, this is going to get you 100% wins. No. When it comes down to wins, it comes down to your individual skill. But first, you gotta start with your builds in order to get better at this game. Now, I'm starting to get map control at a very late time at the 5-minute mark. Generally, what I like to do is as soon as all my structures are down and I start building more grunts and I have about like 3 grunts, I like to move out. Um, this is what separates you know, all the ranks from like platinum to diamond to onyx to champion is generally who's more active. If you are a passive player, you will lose a lot of matches. The reason is for this is that you need to contest the map. Contesting the map is super important in any RTS. If you don't have map control, your opponent can do whatever he wants. He can expand, he can tech, he can, you know, do whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants. That's why you have to be active with your army. Never sit around in your base, because that's just asking to get bodied. Like, generally the rule of thumb is, like, passive players get bodied by active players. So let's go ahead and grab some nodes. Now, never ignore these nodes. Nodes are important because they allow more power for when you're around the Rosie, for example. This allows more power for you, and you're denying it from your opponent. So always grabbing nodes is a generally good idea as you're heading over to your opponent's base. Let's go ahead and start building some more. So now that I hit Tech 2, we still have a pretty good income rate, but our supplies are pretty low. So let's go ahead and fix that by upgrading the supply pad. Let's go ahead and upgrade 2. This will give us more power, supply income, while we'll be able to put more pressure on our opponent. Go ahead and grab another power from Aatrox. Go ahead and sell off a building. And let's go ahead and build more cancel. Let's go ahead and expand. Now that we have a generally good eco right now, I'm gonna go ahead and expand. With Aatrox, it's much easier to expand with than other leaders, but it's still doable. Let's go ahead and stun this. Oh, he's got a Marauder out. So we can see other opponents having Marauders, so we're gonna go ahead and pull back a little bit. We have more grunts, so actually we're gonna go ahead and engage that. Just wanna stun that. Nope, we missed. That's okay. He's got grunts too, or engineers. So let's go ahead and really quickly kill that engineer with the grunts, and then let's go ahead and surround and Rob. So this is pretty much what you want to do in the early game. Now note, you can finish this build order in less than 2 minutes, and you can do all of this like everything that I'm doing on screen right now in 4 to 3 minutes. So you have to be really quick with this build. I'm only being slow for demonstration purposes, but you can do this build in under 2 minutes. Everything from building all your structures to grabbing minis, this can all be done in less than 2 minutes. So that's pretty much the gist of it, what my build order is. I'm gonna go ahead and teach you guys how to tech rush, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so to start off this build, we're gonna go ahead and build a generator right off the bat. Again, same with the standard build, we'll go ahead and send your starting marines to go ahead and grab supplies and power. Now, generally with your starting marines, it's more important to grab power than supplies, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab power. I'm gonna go ahead and build a rabbit, because I like to have a scout unit out, so I can just be more agile around the map. Let's go ahead and with this build, you're gonna go ahead and go for another supply pad. Go ahead and upgrade our generator first. That's what you want to do. Remember, always upgrade your generator first. Never upgrade a supply pad or anything else. Always a generator. I also forgot to mention, like, actually the actual build order. It's power, supply, power. Now, if you are lucky or able to, you get your 5th generator or 2nd generator is going to be stalled. Now, if you're quick at it, you can prevent your 5th building from being stalled. Now, I built the rabbit, so my power or my build order is going to be a little bit stalled, but that's okay because we're going to go ahead and grab more supplies.
Secure those resources, Marines. Stand to, troops.
Let's go ahead and send them over here.
Supply pad constructed.
Let's go ahead and build another supply pad. And now, if you can already spot this, you can tell right now that I'm not being really active. This is also the thing that I can't, because I don't have really any units on the map. This is one of the reasons why I do not like tech rushing, because you really cannot really contest for the map. If your opponent's being very passive, or I mean very active, he's going to be taking, you know, these nodes, minis. You know, I can't even grab a single mini because I'm trying to get my 5th or my 2nd generator out, so I can hit tech. This is one of the reasons why I don't like tech rushing. I think it's one of the weakest strats in the game. It's just, I just don't like it. I feel like you leave yourself too vulnerable to get. It's a high risk, high reward, but the reward is not really even that great. So it works in team games sometimes, but even in team games, you're letting your enemy know that like, oh hey, it's gonna be, even if you're a cornered team, you're telling your opponent that like, oh hey guys, look, it's gonna be a 2-on-3 versus a 3-on-3, or even if two of you are tech rushing, it's gonna be a 1-on-3, which you're probably gonna lose that fight. So
Eyes on me, Marine.
this is it's just
Mini
I
base
don't like
complete.
tech rushing. So let's go ahead and get tech.
Sound off, Marines. Move out.
Heads up. Hostile
The
spotted.
final
Go ahead and
enemy
scout our
base is
opponent.
under attack.
Okay, so we can see our opponent's an idiot because he's a normal AI and he's
Wilco,
going all
moving
supply
out.
pads. So this is good for us.
Let's
That means
hustle.
that by the time we hit tech, he's gonna have rabbits or marines, which is good for us.
I don't care if you
We can see that he's expanding, so that might actually, we're gonna go hit that first because that's actually a real threat to us.
Supply pad constructed.
And yeah, that's generally the gist of it, guys. While this is all going down too, you kind of want to build. I forgot to mention a super important note: is to build a turret. Whenever you have the money or the cash, always try to build a turret to defend yourself because you need that turret in order to survive if your opponent's gonna be rushing. But if your opponent's a full blown rush, you will lose.
Jackrabbit on the move.
You are very vulnerable to a rush when doing this strat, so I would highly
Our base is
not
under
recommend
attack.
doing this build, but I'm only showing you guys it so you guys can have it in your little bag of
Generator
tricks.
upgrade
So,
complete.
well, that's the end of the video, guys.
Need eyes on something?
In my next video, I'll be talking about how to rush, and then the video after that, I'll be talking about how to counter rush. So, stay tuned.